welcome to tnSportsChat presented by Lehigh Valley Health Network. I'm Patrick Matsinko. This is Emmett McCall. Coming off of a very special night. It's Thursday, coming off of a very special night on Wednesday night with our 14th annual Times News Lehigh Valley Health Network Player of the Year Awards banquet at Penn's Peak.
Yeah, we always have a really good time with that. You know, it's the best of area athletes. We have 18 sports that we pick a Player of the Year for, and we get all 18 award winners together at every July. We have pick a date and get them all together at Penn's Peak, and it's a real nice show.
Yeah, and I think this year too it was a really great turnout. We had almost
17 of the 18 athletes
yeah.
and their parents and family members were able to attend, and it went over really well. And I think the one thing that stood out to me with this group is, I mean, you always have a really talented group because they're the best in each sport. But this year's group was really successful, and in addition to the talent, the individual talent, they enjoyed a lot of success, a lot of clutch performances, a lot of players and teams that excelled in the postseason.
Yeah, and even just, I know we've talked about it before, but just thinking about kind of putting together the program, the booklet, kind of trying to go through and get some highlights, which wasn't hard, obviously. You know, you have to kind of try to narrow it down all these kids have accomplished so much, but
right.
One of the things, there's the kind of common theme is just the team success. Right. And I know that was like you said, that was one of the things you really focused on, but it was a common theme throughout for every one of these kids.
Right, great individual success led to great team success for the most part, up and down the roster of award winners. And just to kind of summarize a little bit, what we had is, we'll talk about the individual, the athletes that competed in individual sports. Pretty much unbelievable. 3 state champions we had this year from our small area to have 3 state championships. We had Caleb Clymer from Northwestern won the wrestling gold. Danny Berlitz of Marion won a swimming gold, and Tina Caparel of Marion won a cross country gold medal.
Yeah, and you think too about Danny. I mean, obviously talented in multiple events with swimming, and then Tina too came back in the spring and medaled twice in track and field, and one of them was a silver medal. So she was very close to medaling in 2 different sports, 2 completely different seasons. And then
we also had Tamir Spencer of Lehigh, who won a state medal in the 200.
That's
in
right.
The 200,
yes.
He won a state medal. So lots of great individual performance throughout the season.
And team-wise too, you think about Northwestern boys soccer, Marion volleyball, both reached state championship games with Jasmine Mooney from Marion, obviously
volleyball player of the year,
tremendous, and Noah Myers for Northwestern soccer,
our boys soccer player of the year, and they both were just stood out as not only team leaders by the performance, but also leaders in the sense of the way that they kind of picked their team up and gave them great mental boost in these clutch performances and the clutch moments.
And then you think too just about what they were able to accomplish, but also just some of them are also underclassmen. Tamir is an underclassman, only a junior, as is Danny Berlitz in swimming, only a junior.
Right, so they'll be back to try to duplicate or even improve on their performance next year. They'll have a chance. So it was a really great group of athletes. And in addition to to Jasmine and Noah, who took their teams to state championship finals, we also had a couple of teams that reached the state semifinals. With, Tyler Wick of Northwestern for baseball. Northwestern baseball is the furthest the team ever went in school history. They've all reached the state semis. And who Sarah Hathaway, Northwestern girls soccer player, same deal. The furthest the Northwestern girls team had ever gone in the postseason, they reached the semifinals this year.
I think it was a good year for Northwestern.
We're
think about
picking up that theme.
But again, too, just think about Jake Martinez at Palmerton. He was our boys cross country athlete of the year, only a junior. You think about Tyler Fritz at Marion, our boys basketball player of the year, only a sophomore. And then you think about Josh Schaffner, Pleasant Valley boys tennis, also only a sophomore. So.
Right. Of the we had 18 sports. We had 17 different athletes because Tina Caparel was a double winner.
Yeah.
But of the 17, we had 6 underclassmen, 11 seniors, and 6 underclassmen. And like you said, two of the underclassmen were just sophomores. So a lot of talent in the younger grades. And then of the 11 seniors we had, I think a pretty remarkable number. We talked about the state championships and teams going to the state finals. We also had 4 Division I scholarship athletes at the banquet last night. We had, Caitlin Hoffman of Northern Lehigh Softball going to Fairfield.
Yes.
Tina Caparel, cross-country track, going to the University of Delaware. Mara Phelan of Lehighton Field Hockey, who we haven't had a chance to mention yet, just had a great field hockey season for Lehighton. She's going to American U to play, and Caleb Clymer, Northwestern wrestler, is going to wrestle at Lock Haven, which is Division I in wrestling.
Yeah, and again, you think about those kids, Division I, which is obviously a huge accomplishment, but we also have the other athletes who aren't maybe going Division I, but are still continuing their careers at the next level.
Right. Of the 11 seniors, 10 of them are going to be playing sports in college. The only one that isn't is Noah Myers. He's going to Kutztown. He's going to major in sports management, but Kutztown doesn't have a soccer team. So he's not playing there. Probably end up playing club sport or something.
Yeah.
But the other 10 are all going to play sports in college. We mentioned the 4 Division I kids. We have 3 Division II athletes. Jasmine Mooney going to ESU for volleyball, Cody Shearer of Lehighton going to Kutztown for football, and Tyler Wick is going to be playing baseball at Bloomsburg. So yeah, and all 3 of those players had outstanding seasons, obviously, and Division II is very competitive.
Oh yeah.
I mean that it's you think Division I, everybody knows that the time and effort you have to put in, but even at the Division II and III level in college,
it doesn't stop.
No, competition is still really, really tough, and the hours are tough, and you got to maintain the studies and the sports, so you've got to be really dedicated.
Exactly.
To do that.
I was going to say the dedication, and even sometimes at a club level, right? I mean, like you're able to, I was able to do cycling in Kutztown, and we were club, but you're still traveling, you're still going and racing, and you still have to make that time to be able to go and do that.
Right.
So it doesn't really change or stop. You're still, responsible for, and you need to kind of be self-motivated, which obviously all of these kids are. So we also have Skyland Faust, though, who's going to King's College
to play basketball.
Yeah, our
girls basketball player of the year. We had 2 other athletes going to Division III schools. Masani Francis is going to Worcester College in Ohio, and Mason Vogwell is going to Penn State Harrisburg. Interesting story with those 2.
Yeah.
They're both going to be playing sports that they didn't win our player of the years in. So Masani is going to be playing. She was our girls tennis player of the year. She'll be playing basketball at Worcester. She was a 4-year starter for both the tennis and basketball teams at Pleasant Valley. And Mason was our golfer of the year, but also was a key member of that Northwestern baseball team that reached the state semifinals, district championship. He's going to be playing baseball at Penn State Harrisburg.
So a lot certainly to recap with all of those athletes, all supremely accomplished in their own right, and still with a lot to look forward to, whether it's at the next level or coming back next season. But I definitely think that the banquet is always a really nice way to kind of tie everything together, really sort of officially put a bow on this past season now, and just kind of start to move forward.
Yeah, there was already talk at the banquet, sitting with different parents, different athletes about, who's the team to beat in football this year, which we covered last week.
Yeah, and that will be here before you know it.
Yeah.
But
I think, the heat acclimation starts like the second week, August 7th, 8th, something like that. So yeah, we're only a couple of weeks away from the start of that.
Which is really pretty wild. I know college football has had its media days going, and it's getting here.
Yeah. But there are still a couple summer sports that are hanging in there. Well, one just wrapped up last night. Let's talk about that first.
I had a chance to cover, I was not at the banquet, but I had a chance to cover the Bowmanstown Blaze against Emmaus it was the second game of a best 2 out of 3 series for the Lehigh Valley Girls Softball League, 12
Which
and
is
under.
The premier league when you're talking softball, whether you're talking 8-year-olds or high school level, Eastern Pennsylvania Conference, the Lehigh Valley is known for their outstanding softball.
And you think about this Bowmanstown team, coached by Jamie France, and I think for this group, I know he had mentioned it to me last night about kind of just joining and coming into the league, kind of trying out in fall ball this past year, seeing how it would go, not really sure. They ended up going 14-2. Obviously, and like he said to me, didn't sneak up on anybody. They had a 10-1 regular season, only lost to Emmaus 8-5 in the regular season. So both teams finished with a 10-1 record. Then met again in this championship series. Emmaus took the first game on Monday, 19-9, and then won again last night, 6-3. But it was a very close game. Emmaus got out 4-0. Bowmanstown kind of chipped away at it, made it 4-3. Had a couple of chances, girls on base, just weren't quite able to just sort of break through there. And then Emmaus tacked on a few runs late, but really remarkable. And for a group that's going to be back, are going to return a lot of girls to that division, that team next year.
That's basically Little League age. It's the girl softball equivalent of Little League. You got the 11 and 12-year-olds, and this was a predominant 11-year-old
very young
team.
And so you lose two girls, and you think about obviously just the experience gained kind of playing in this league this season.
Do you know, Pat, are most of these girls Palmerton School District? Is it Lehigh School District? A little mixture?
It's a little bit of a mixture. I know they have 2 Pleasant Valley girls.
Oh, okay.
So, and I know one of the things that Coach Franz had even said to me is that they've really kind of come together and gelled, and you could sense that. I know we talked about it earlier. They're a loud bunch. They're a spirited bunch. But when they're playing a game is what we can say.
Heard.
Yeah. If you're nearby, if you're on Blue Shamrock Golf Course, if there's a softball game going on. But
great season for them.
Yeah, really great season. If I
can add 24-3 between the fall and the spring season, summer season. So just a great job.
And again, just this Emmaus team, which had phenomenal pitching, it was just very, very tough to beat. And girls, that's a kind of a tournament travel type team, obviously.
Right.
So you think about what they were able to do in this league against a team like that, that's very experienced and kind of seasoned in the Lehigh Valley Girls Softball League. Certainly more than held their own, and I wouldn't be surprised if they're back there next year. So that wraps up their season.
Softball's done.
But
baseball-wise, we have games on 2 levels yet. Little League level, start with there. Panther Valley tournament is wrapping up. We're into the final week for the 11 and 12 age group, and early next week the 9 and 10 age group ends. So what do we know? What do we know about the 11 and 12s?
It's a little bit different, I guess, this year, where we're going to have sort of an East-West kind of showdown for the Panther Valley tournament title, which is different than it has been in past years.
This is the first time I remember doing it that way. They broke it into an East and West division this year. It used to be you played everybody else one time, a round robin. Best record won it. If there was a tie, they'd have a playoff. I like the way they've done it. They're still playing. They have 2 divisions. Top 3 teams in each division make the playoffs. This Friday night it opens 2 seed versus 3 seed in each division.
Then winners play the 1 seed on Saturday, and then you'll get East-West division champions meeting on Monday, July 23rd, to determine the 11, 12-year-old champions.
Right.
So I kind of, like you said, I like that. I think you get sort of maybe a more clearly defined, and then you also get sort of like a little playoff.
Right, you
in
get
there,
the championship game
is
built
nice.
in. Right, because if you're going round robin, one team could have already had it clinched before the
sure.
last game. So
Yeah.
it's nice that they've kind of set up a playoff here where you'll have an actual championship game. So nice job with the Panther Valley Little League, kind of revising what they did this year, create a little more excitement, I think. And Timesons will be there Monday. We'll have a photographer, writer at the championship game. And then the 9 and 10-year-old Franklin Township is in the driver's seat right now. They finished second to Talmensing in the district tournament in the South Division, but they were able to beat Talmensing in the round robin play, and they're undefeated. That wraps up on Tuesday, and they're still doing it the old, you play everybody once, best record at the end is the champ. I know I was talking to Franklin coach J.C. Dietz a little earlier just to kind of get the information on how they're doing it. He said to me that Weatherly, Tamaqua, and Jim Thorpe all only have one loss, and the Franklin team is unbeaten. So that's more than likely going to go down to Tuesday to see who can emerge as the champion in that.
And as you had mentioned, that Franklin team is rolling. 5-0, I think, is what we had most recently. So definitely,
They look
obviously,
like the team to be
the odds-on
now.
favorite there, kind of to lock that up. And that's what we have still as far as Little League. But we also have Jim Thorpe in the Connie Mack state playoffs, which begin tonight.
Right, and Connie Mack is the age level above Little League. I think we're 13 to 15 in this group, somewhere in
High
that
school age.
Right, kind of
So-
your 8th grade, 9th, and 10th grade players. Like Jim Thorpe team has a number of kids who were key
Familiar
contributors
names,
from
yeah.
the baseball team this summer, and they begin their playoffs tonight.
Yeah, so we kind of, head coach Pat Joyce, also kind of want to sort of send a shout out and a thank you to him because he's been
Super
pretty
cooperative.
incredible.
Yeah.
I mean, just in terms of, and we've said this before about coaches sending results and updates and things like that, but throughout every single game,
He's right up there with
everything.
the J.C. Dietz of Little
Yeah,
League as
yeah,
far as making sure we get every result.
And it's wonderful, and they're timely. They're great. They give you a great understanding, kind of what sort of what's happening, and he's been great just with
Sent
kind of
us
letting us
something
know.
yesterday.
Yeah,
We had in the paper 12-team state tournament, eight teams from the Lehigh Valley League, 4 from the Bucksmont League. They're going to play a double elimination tournament. Jim Thorpe plays Hellertown tonight.
Yes.
All the games are at Lineport
Lineport, yeah.
Stadium, which is a really, really nice stadium.
Oh, yeah.
If you're not doing anything, you want to see some summer baseball, it's a great place to go and just kind of relax and watch a game.
Yeah, it's kind of almost sort of like that kind of it's like a hallmark, sort of like a landmark,
throwback.
And we think
Got
about summer baseball. That's those are the kind of places, I guess, that kind of come
Kind
to
of
mind.
got the grandstand. It's got like the roof over the grandstand.
Yeah, like
and,
Pine Grove, I think, which is also cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, so they'll play Thursday night, like you said, Hellertown, and then moving forward, they would play again on Sunday.
Saturday if they win.
Saturday if they win.
Sunday
if they lose.
Right.
So
like I said, double elimination. They won't know their opponents until after a couple of games get done.
There are
in the
2
tournament
games
here.
Thursday and then 2 games Friday.
Yeah,
So and then kind
and
of
4 teams had opening round buys, the top teams, I guess, in each league. So there were 4 teams having buys that don't play till Saturday. So, but we'll be following them. Jeff Muller is going to be doing the game for us tonight. We'll have the story in the Times News tomorrow, and we'll be following them throughout their journey in the state playoffs.
Yeah, and it's a longer tournament too.
When it July
28th,
it ends, so it's 9 days.
So that's so there's certainly still a lot of baseball left to be played there for all those teams. But that'll be getting underway tonight, and certainly something, like you said, that we'll be following closely and paying attention to. So, but I don't believe I have anything else
I think
for this week.
I think that's it.
So next week we'll come back and we'll recap sort of what went down, what transpired in the Connie Mack playoffs, Little League tournaments.
Maybe have a surprise. We'll come up with some kind of list or whatever that we can kind of preview fall sports coming up. We've already talked football. We'll figure out something.
Pocono's next week.
Pocono.
I know you're always
there. That's right.
Super excited
Brad
about
Hurley,
that.
Pat Matsinko, they'll be up there doing things for the Times News next week at Pocono.
Looks like there's no NASCAR Monster Energy Cup Series action on track Friday.
Yeah, which we just found out today, or at least I found out today that it's a little different. A qualifying Saturday evening. We're talking a week from this Saturday yet that's going to be happening. The race is what, the 29th? Is the Sunday? Yeah.
But they're also doing that block party kind of deal with the drivers on Friday night, like 6 to 9 on Friday night in the infield. So if you are interested, I do think people seem to enjoy that last year. It kind of seemed to go over where it was that sort of really kind of interactive thing that maybe you don't get if you just have drivers out at haulers or meet and greets. I think it was a little bit more, I don't know, kind of just
laid back.
Yeah, I think it was just a little bit easier for people to kind of So we'll see. I guess that'll be Friday night again this year, and then we'll be pretty much through July. So which is scary in some ways, but that's what's to come over the next week or so. So certainly look forward to that, and we'll get you caught up to speed in the next couple of weeks with what's going on there. But for now, definitely good luck to Jim Thorpe and all of our teams that are also playing in the Little League tournaments. Congrats to Bowmanstown again on a great season. Certainly a lot to be proud of there, and all of our players of the year. Anything else for you?
No, I think we're good.
All right. So for Emmett, McCall, I'm Patrick Matsinko. Thank you once again for tuning in to TN Sports Chat, presented by Lehigh Valley Health Network.